Throughout the existence of the anime industry, a whole bunch of excellent works have been released. Death Note, Steins Gate, Code Geass, Attack of the Titans, Evangelion. All these titles have been absolutely deservedly heard by a large number of people for a long time. But it often happens that among popular and iconic works, no less beautiful creations are lost, which for certain reasons were not lucky enough to gain universal fame. Today I invite you to touch one of these anime. This piece was not created by a studio, but by just one person. It lasts only 3 minutes, which took 3 years to produce. 3 years, in order to send the viewer into a new, mysterious and fascinating world, even for a few moments. The animation begins with a demonstration of an incomprehensible pattern. The camera slides smoothly along it while the opening credits are played. The name of the creator, and the name of the anime itself, Puparia. It's a rather strange word that nevertheless makes sense. But more on that later. The next frame shows a girl sitting on the ground. She stares intently at the camera and completely ignores the oddities surrounding her, namely, the bizarre creature that vaguely resembles a Navy SEAL, and the general state of ruin of the place where she resides. After a couple of moments, the girl leaves, and we are transported to another, no less mysterious place. A building with many rooms, each of which differs in some way from the previous one, either by the color of the wallpaper or carpets, or by the presence of objects located here for some reason, such as the skull of some kind of beast or a statue of a creature combining features humans and birds. A slightly creepy-looking man appears in one of the rooms. He was about to open the door to the next room, but decides to turn around and look at the passage stretching through countless rooms. At the end of this passage, you can't see anything but darkness. At the same moment, something resembling a human-sized insect pupa appears out of this darkness, and begins to move towards the man at great speed. They make eye contact, and the location changes again. Another girl is looking at the camera again. Behind the heroine, you can see strange-looking trees. The heroine looks away and points somewhere outside the frame, after which we are transported to a very unearthly place. A strange-looking girl is looking over the horizon, although I'm still not 100% sure about the gender of this character. But in order not to get confused, I'll assume that this is the heroine. Next to her is a creature that vaguely resembles a fox. After looking into the heroine's eyes, the creature leaves, and the girl turns back. We see that many people are looking at her. They just silently look in her direction, as if waiting for something. The heroine looks back towards the wasteland again, after which she turns her gaze back to the people. A smile appears on her face, and the animation ends. Most likely you have a lot of questions in your head right now. Who are all these characters? Where are they located? What's going on here? And what does it all mean anyway? Let's try to figure it out. To begin with, it would be useful to understand who the creator of this work, Shunna Tamagawa, is. Since childhood, he loved to draw, was fond of manga and anime, and while in high school, he discovered directors such as Hayao Miyazaki and Hideaki Anno. Thanks to them, Tamagawa realized how much animation depends on the director, and decided that he also wanted to become a creator, and create his own anime. He goes to art school and begins his journey towards his dream. After graduating from school, Singa gets a job at an animation studio. As a result, after working in the industry for 5 years, Tamagawa realized that he was almost burned out, and if this went on, he would end up hating animation. Then he decides to stop painting, take a break and rest. This pause lasted 1.5 years. During this time, Shunna Tamagawa just read books and walked around the city. And it was during this period that he came up with the idea to create his own anime without anyone's support, completely on his own. In the work, he wanted to reflect the thoughts and feelings with which he lived at that time. That's how Puparia appeared. Tamagawa felt that the values of our world were gradually fading away, and the concepts we used to rely on were beginning to crumble. But he wanted not only to convey these feelings in his work, but also to provide support to the audience through it. Knowing his desire to create a rather abstract work, Tamagawa decided that all images should be drawn as clearly as possible. Trying to make his drawings saturated, he decided to abandon computer graphics and do everything manually. As a result, after 3 years of painstaking work, many sleepless nights and endless redrawing, the work was finally completed. So what did this man create? What is this work about? The name of the anime, Puparia, comes from the word puparium, which is the name of one of the stages of development in some insects. In simple terms, this is something like a cocoon that covers the pupa and is the penultimate stage of insect development. An already formed adult comes out of the puparium. But how does this information relate to the work under discussion? Actually, directly. The very first frames of the anime show us the surface of this very bubble. In confirmation of this, the title of the work appears on the screen at the same moment. A similar pattern will appear throughout the timekeeping. First on the skin of a creature resembling a Navy SEAL, then on an insect pupa, then on the bark of strange trees, on the skin of one of the heroines, and finally on the surface of the planet. A puparium is one of the stages of transformation and change of an insect. In this work, the puparium symbolizes a certain stage of human life, the moment when everything in our lives changes so rapidly, and the future seems so vague that you begin to experience apathy, melancholy and fear from the realization of what may lie ahead. Sure, not Tamagawa created his anime with similar feelings. Many people experienced similar feelings in the year of the work's release, and the same feelings are experienced by the characters of the story itself. All the characters are people living during a time of major world changes. They wander back and forth with tired and indifferent faces, conveying their attitude to the events taking place around them. Apathy, exhaustion, and to some extent humility are what they feel. The strange and mysterious locations in which the characters reside convey their vision of a rapidly changing world. It seems to be collapsing to some, confusing to others, and simply incomprehensible to others. Finally, the puparium itself symbolizes the very future, which is becoming more and more present with every passing moment. Some have already accepted it, others have not yet. For some, it is not completely clear, but it is quite harmless. And someone, on the contrary, feels threatened by it. In the last scene, we see the future embodied in the heroine. She looks at a planet that has already undergone major changes. There is some kind of wild animal next to it. It can symbolize those concepts, values and principles to which we are accustomed, the present in which we have been living all this time. But now it leaves its post, looks into the eyes of the coming future, and leaves, becoming just a story, just someone's memories. Now the vague and for many incomprehensible future takes his place, preparing to become the present. Humanity froze in anticipation. People stand behind a wall, separating him from the new, rapidly changing world with the usual rules. They are afraid of the changes that are about to come, but the future in the girl's face is smiling, a sincere, warm and soothing smile, showing that there is no point in being afraid. Everything will change anyway, and it's useless to resist it. After all, life does not stand still. The heroine smiles and invites humanity to follow her, to put aside doubts, to overcome this wall of fear, to face changes.